What's up, y'all? Cliff here from Not Gospel Studios. In this video, we are reacting to a clip from the Cooper Stuff podcast. Now, John Cooper is the lead singer of Skillet. They're a Christian band, and he's a conservative Christian, and he has a weekly podcast called Cooper Stuff. Now, the entire podcast is about an hour long, and he usually covers like socio-political stuff, pop culture stuff, just the current events that are going on in the week, and he gives his take on it as a traditional conservative Christian. He gets a lot of flack sometimes for not being as progressive as some other pastors and whatnot, but I have to say, I do align with him in a lot of things. I'm a more traditional Christian. But that being said, the clip that we're referencing and we're focusing on is not the entire podcast. There will be a link in the description for the entire podcast because it's about an hour long. This clip is just a short clip at the start of the podcast where two pastors are referring to God as God the Mother. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're going to dive into this thing. It should be pretty freaking interesting. This is Reconstructing Christianity. All right, so God the Mother, let's get into this thing.
Do you feel like everything is just ramping up and happening so fast? Like every day is a new crazy thing that you're hearing. We have a bombshell episode today. I'm telling you, another bombshell episode. We're going to be talking about an intersection of a lot of things that are going to be really important. One, God the Mother. What's this God the Mother thing all about? How that intersects with deconstruction. It's a very, very important thing. First, we got to see this clip. This is Nancy Beach and her daughter. Nancy Beach was, I think, the first woman pastor at Willow Creek or something. I don't think she's there anymore.
Let's go ahead and read.
Before we get into this clip, I have to agree with him. Yeah, things are going crazy. Things are going really fast in all kinds of directions. All right, let's get to it.
Let's go ahead and read this passage aloud together.
And we're going to try reading it with female pronouns. So this might stretch you a bit, but let's see how beautiful this picture can be, okay? Psalm 23, here we go.
Right away, I just want to say they're looking at the 23rd Psalm, and they're saying they're going to read it with female pronouns. And then she says, let's see how beautiful this passage can be. This passage isn't any more beautiful with different pronouns unless there's something wrong with being a man. Unless there's something wrong with having male pronouns. There's nothing wrong with being a dad. There's nothing wrong with being a good dad. There's nothing that makes replacing father with mother any more beautiful unless you're convinced that there's something inherently wrong with being a dad or being a male. This immediately feels like an offshoot of toxic masculinity, that if we can sort of retrain our thoughts about God, then he no longer represents toxic patriarchy, masculinity, and he can be motherly.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. She makes me lie down in green pastures. She leads me beside still waters. She restores my soul.
When we detach from our culture of hustle and consumption, when we rest in our belovedness, even alongside all the work that remains unfinished, we are responding to the whisper of our Mother God, who longs to stroke our hair, restore our souls, and fill our tank.
Can we pray together?
We are responding to the whisper of our Mother God. So obviously, this is like a progressive pastor team here, a mother and daughter. What's interesting to me about progressive ideology is oftentimes when they're coming up with a new progressive thing, I feel like they just forget to check it through all the other progressive ideologies that are out there. For instance, they're switching God's pronouns. Can you imagine for a second if this passage was not about God, but instead these were two female pastors, Christian pastors, who were taking a passage written by a trans youth, let's say, and they said, let's reimagine this passage and let's use this youth's, not their preferred pronouns, but let's use this person's biological pronouns.
Let's see how beautiful this picture can be.
These two pastors would immediately be branded as the poster pastors for transphobia. They absolutely would. In progressive ideology, you are not allowed to mispronounce somebody. You are not allowed to misgender somebody, to use their wrong pronouns. That's a big time no-no. But I guess if you're talking about God, you're allowed to. It's okay.
Can we pray together? Heavenly Mother,
Holy Mother indeed. And by that I mean, Holy Father, save us. So much heresy, so little time. Every day is a brand new heresy. We got to jump in. It's time to jump in to Cooper stuff.
He is so funny and he's so right. So two things. Right quick, some things come to mind. When Jesus in Matthew was teaching them how to pray, he said, "In this way pray ye, our Father who art in heaven, holy is your name," or hallowed be your name in the King James Version. Even Jesus himself refers to God as God the Father. Jesus himself refers to himself as the Son of God. When you try to make God the Mother, what's next? Are they just going to try to make Jesus the daughter of God? And I don't understand the purpose for this. And I know there's some of you are going to say, well, of course you don't understand the purpose of this because you're part of the patriarchy. You're a male. You're a cisgendered conservative male. So you, A, probably don't get an opinion, and B, can't understand it. All of that is a load of bullcrap, in my opinion, but hey, I'm not allowed to have one. Problem is, I understand where they're going with this. If they can make God, who is usually male, a mother and a motherly figure, then that means they can prove this ideology and sort of normalize this ideology that men can be mothers, that females, biological females, can transition into manhood, and then, since they still have ovaries and a uterus and all that jazz, all the right plumbing, they can be pregnant, and therefore men can be mothers. This is just not the case. I'm not transphobic. Never have been. Never will be. Maybe when I was younger, I thought it was weird or whatever. There's nothing about their personal choices and how they want to present themselves that truly bothers me. But here's the thing. I don't mind how you want to present. If a biological male feels much more comfortable presenting to the world as traditionally female, and that's how they want to present, that's how they want to engage with the world, they can do that. That is their right. It's their life. What bothers me is that you presume that you have the right to tell me how I need to interact with that, how I need to engage with that. And on top of that, what bothers me is when you presume that you have the right to tell my children how they should engage with that. What you see here is a common thing. It's a common thing with deconstruction of the faith, is the idea that truth is relative. It's a postmodernist kind of thing. The idea that truth is relative, truth is what you make it, and that God himself, how he views the world, how he views humanity, how he interacts with us, slides with culture. That over time, what we think is okay and what we discover is okay and good is also then good with God. That has never been the case. Never once has government been allowed to tell God what is okay, or socio-political culture or pop culture been able to describe for God what is okay. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His thoughts on what his moral codes are has never changed. In fact, the biggest problem in Christianity to me is when it got endorsed by the Roman Empire. That's where I think the biggest problems in Christianity and the Christian faith happened and began, is when the Roman Empire stopped fighting Christianity, stopped fighting Christians tooth and nail, and instead embraced it, and then started slowly but surely dripping their own methodologies, their own ideologies into Christian faith. That's when things got messed up, and that's when things like the Crusades under Pope Innocent III, that's when that stuff happened. Things that we all know are wrong. So anyways, y'all, this God the Mother thing, I do agree with John Cooper in the fact that I think it is heretical. It is an offshoot that is probably veering into a different religion than what I know traditional Christianity to be. And traditional Christianity to me is love your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. And part of love is being honest with people and telling the truth. I'm not going to lie to somebody I love. I've said that before on this channel. I'll say it over and over again. So how I try to live my life is prayer and connection with God every single day, and then reaching out and creating community with more people, getting more neighbors, more people to love, more people to sow into, more people to lift up in prayer. And if I can figure out how to meet these needs, I'll try to meet them. That's Christianity to me. That's traditional Christianity. But it also comes with a set of rules and guidelines that are going to tell and define for me the best ways to please my God. What do you guys think about this? Is it wrong to misgender God? Is it wrong to flip and call him a mother when everybody from the beginning, even his own son Jesus, referred to him as God the Father? Is that wrong? Let me know what you think. I think it is. I think that these pastors have no business doing this. I think that they really need to check their own personal social ideologies at the door when it comes to engaging with a divine faith. I really think they do. But let me know what you think. Anyways, y'all, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Keep supporting quality, independent content, and keep being awesome, because that's how God made you.